As the newest set of cards to be released, Invasion of Venom, fast approaches. A card is to be released that turns the tide of the game as we know it, allowing several decks that have already taken off in OCG land to in turn flourish here over in the TCG. That one card is TREATOAD. Quickly going over it, as it's already been talked about a lot before, TREATOAD is a rank 2 Aqua-type monster that requires 2 level 2 Aqua-type monsters to exceed summon it. Once per turn, during the standby phase, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card, special summon 1 frog monster from your deck, except Frog the Jam. Once per turn during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell or trap card or a monster effect, you can send 1 Aqua-type monster from your hand or face up from your field to the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Then you can set the destroyed card on your field. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 water monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. This card is shaped a part of the meta in the OCG, and soon enough we are going to have this card released upon us, opening a whole new world of potential for decks old and new to come back up. Today I'm going to go address a couple of those options and the benefits of each. So without surprise, the first option we'll talk about is none other than frogs themselves. Being the namesake of this card, abusing the little level 2 amphibians by using the ridiculous power Swap Frog and Ronin Totem possess in tandem, you're easily able to drop a TREATOAD and utilize it to its maximum potential. Being able to get the added benefit of special summoning frogs from deck and having multiple bullets to keep pitching as long as you have frogs allows this deck to be a massive threat when winning the die roll. Not to mention if the TREATOAD gets sent to graveyard, you just add back a Swap Frog and keep on chugging. Now while frogs is easily the first thing people gravitate towards, there are some more obscure options that people might not think of at first. For example, Paleozoics. Being a trap monster archetype that thrives on clever chain production and stun aspects, TREATOAD makes a star appearance all because those trap monsters just happen to conveniently be level 2 water monsters. Being able to special summon the Paleozoics from your graveyard on your opponent's turn is an added bonus because it allows you to keep having the fuel you'll need to keep negating stuff with your beloved TREATOAD. Also, with the release of Opabinia next set, it gives Paleozoics a different dynamic to the deck, an aggressive one, and will allow them to drop TREATOAD on turn 1 by enabling you to activate traps from the hand. Pair these with the frogs themselves and you have a hybrid which is a force to be reckoned with. Now let's think more outside the box and look at my personal favorite deck and my go-to choice for this release, Mermails. That's right, the deck that just doesn't seem to die has yet another card putting it in a better position. You might be thinking, Gage, Mermails don't play any level 2 monsters, you can't play TREATOAD in this, and that's where you would be wrong, sir. I present to you Bahamut Shark, a card released all the way back in Abyss Rising which reads, once per turn you can detach 1 Exceeds material from this card, special summon 1 rank 3 or lower water Exceeds monster from your extra deck. This card cannot attack for the rest of the turn. This ties perfectly into Mermails for several reasons. If we switch up some of the more current deck lists to be geared towards turn 1 plays, we can see that utilizing cards like Instant Infusion, Aqua Spirit, and Mermail Abyss Pike, and Turge, we have a pretty good level 4 toolbox at our disposal. Since TREATOAD can send itself off its own effect, some pretty insane plays come around whenever you put a Bahamut Shark in play. If you happen to get lucky and have a Mermail Abyss Gunny in hand, sure you can send that to the graveyard, but if you send TREATOAD himself, you can add back any water monster in your graveyard to your hand for next turn, replenishing your plays for the next turn and keeping you in the game. Even if it's not the most consistent way to play TREATOAD, this is by far my favorite, and I believe it's the one that will see a lot of play. The last synergy I want to talk about is one that comes to a surprise, and that's Heroes? Yeah, hold on, let me explain. Being able to drop TREATOAD turn 1 is great, but utilizing it at choke points when your opponent is strapped for resources is one of the reasons this card is so good at what it does. Utilizing Instant Fusion, Bubble Man, and A Hero Lives, getting to your pieces to make that Bahamut Shark is surprisingly simple. Let's not forget how good of a stun card Dark Law is, by the way, and as we discussed before, TREATOAD being in a stun deck just feels so right. As Invasion of Venom nears closer and closer, I highly recommend looking into these decks to be some contenders for the next meta. I'm excited to play with our new wet friend, and I'm thrilled to see the impact it'll make in the future. I just want to take a moment and thank X Underground members X for allowing me to guest upload today on their channel. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Nim, and I do discussions sort of like this, the animated kind. I also just do face cam if it's a card I just really want to talk about at the moment. If you guys want to see more content from myself, I'm sure X Underground members X will be so gracious to link my channel down in the description below. Be sure to subscribe and you guys can keep up with all the new content I'm producing. If you guys like the video, be sure to like the video, thumbs up the video, however and express that you enjoyed the video, and I really hope to see you guys next time on my channel. So yeah, thank you guys for watching.